Hi.
Hello.
You did this. Okay.
Okay, so we're real life friends.
Yes.
But we never discuss our career. So tonight we get to do that.
Tonight we will.
I was admiring Samantha's outfit because she always looks professional
Oh, that's nice.
and polished.
I find you polished in your leather leggings.
Thank you.
And your gold chains.
I told you backstage that I don't wear a blazer in public because I did it one time and my manager told me it made me look mannish.
And I told you that I once had an agent who told me to practice better hygiene.
So
Not now.
we brought some of those lessons here tonight.
We have. We hope to impart our wisdom.
Hygiene and not a blazer. And a leather slack. Hi.
Hi.
So what we do is we go out for lunch about once every year.
Yes.
And
But you know what? When we go out for lunch, we
drill deep.
We drill deep, and we also pick up right where we left off. It's
That's
like,
exactly right.
It's as though no time has passed, but things have.
That's what show folk do.
That's right.
Yep, we're transient show folk.
That's right.
Carnies, as some people would say.
Yes.
Usually what we do is talk about how we're going to have a podcast.
Yeah, we do. We meant to do that.
Because it was going to help our career. We could still do it.
We can still do it. I think we could do it now more than ever.
Yeah, it's possible. It could really take off. Would you guys listen to our podcast?
Would you?
All right, great. We've got a seed campaign starting.
You've got to plant the seeds.
Samantha Bee is about to take over, is about to reinvent late night involving a lady face.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And not to be, there's nothing, I'm a woman from Saturday Night Live, so I know that there's nothing more annoying in the world than the conversation about being a woman in comedy if you just do it organically.
Right.
That said, it's inevitable that you're going to get asked about it nonstop, and that it's a part of what you're doing.
And I do understand. I understand why people are asking the question. I just don't really have any good answers for the question. Does that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to answer the question, why are there no women in late night?
No, especially if you're the one doing it, and it's a weird thing to live in the middle of something that feels very organic and natural to you. But there is a certain onus, I think, on trailblazing. I think you kind of have to own a little bit of it.
But there were people before. It's not like I'm the only person who ever did it. I do, I look back in the history of time, and it has happened. And also, women have been offered late night shows and things like that and said no.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
I wonder why they say no, though.
I think that
it's a drag.
It's a kind of a drag. No, I don't know. I just did Colbert tonight, and they do 5 shows a week. And that is punishing. So I was in their midst, and they were like, "So you're only doing 1 show a week, huh? That sounds pretty relaxing." Like they're dead. Their bodies and minds are dead inside. I'm like, yeah. I was like, more than ever, I know that is a great decision.
Well, it's funny, and again, I really don't want to make it all about gender.
Sure.
Because it's
though.
it's annoying, but it is kind of. Yeah, it's this weird. There's this great, I don't know, there's lots of things that I feel like I want to address without having to be the smart person about it. But, I watched some of the test episodes for the show, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
And what I really noticed, and this is, now I'm going to really sound BS-y here, but, people used to always ask me, what's the difference with girls on SNL? What's the difference between girl writers and boy writers? Or, and I know that those roles are changing slightly, but the women of my era tended to want to kind of drill deep and play characters and embrace things and be a little less about jokes and a little bit more about, for lack of a better term, content, sort of being. Okay. And the thing that's so cool about your show is that's actually what you're doing. You're diving in format-wise to examine something really, really intensely and not just kind of flip through a bunch of jokes, Weekend Update style.
Right. We're doing a little bit of, it's going to be it's a topical show, and it's a topical show with drill downs too. So there's a little bit of there's a little bit of both of those things. But it's not really, I feel like the jokes on our show are coming from, and I think they're good jokes. I think they're really solid, but they're coming from a place of, they're coming from a very grounded place. They're not just jokes for the sake of jokes.
They seem to also just be Here's a word we enjoy.
Uh-oh.
How about edutainment, guys? But it does feel like edutainment to me. Yeah, there's a little, at least I was edutained. I was deeply edutained. But I mean, it is in terms of like, I mean, The Daily Show obviously cracked this open, but it's about people watch it because they actually want to learn a little bit about what you're talking about, and you're speaking in a language that they understand, as opposed to sort of a talking head or finger wagger.
The fun journey of it actually is that I'm learning a lot too. Like
I'd like to thank you for saying journey.
A journey, the journey that
The
I'm going
edutainment
on.
journey.
Because a lot of people that I'm working with are just much smarter than me. So I'm learning, and we're putting our comedy filter on things in a very unexpected way, I think. And we're trying anyway. That's what we're attempting to do.
You're doing a great job. I mean, it's well, of course, you'll all see it on Monday. But as a viewer, I found it a little more Dateline and a little less Talk Soup.
Oh, it's not very that's true. Not so much Talk Soup.
My husband doesn't even know this, but when I'm alone, I watch Dateline. Secretly.
I think that's
find
a
it
good
so
move.
satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
God, it's so relaxing.
All
There's
of the
nothing more
magazine
relaxing.
yeah.
And all those Keith Morrison tree shots and everything. That's what I would. Anyway, do you have? This is a weird question. So obviously, you had comedy idols, I assume. Did you have comedy idols growing up?
I did. Yeah. Did you?
The obvious ones?
We have the obvious ones.
Lily Tomlin and Gilda and
Gilda,
who
and
else?
also Carol
Ruth
Burnett.
Buzzy,
Carol Burnett. Met Carol Burnett and cried.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever met her?
I haven't, but Amy Poehler and Tina met her over the weekend and cried.
Oh, did they cry?
Sad.
Every living
hard not
woman
to cry.
cries. You can't not cry. And she's like really nice about it, but she's like, oh, they're there. My life is a drag. This is why I don't go out. But you know who I always mention too, who I don't want to ever forget about, is Catherine O'Hara. She meant so much to me growing up. Like, I watched, TV was my babysitter. I was born in 1969, so we just watched TV straight for 10 years. And no one,
safe.
like unmonitored.
No, you know
television.
why? You let yourself in, you watch TV.
You watch TV, you've got your own key, you're 5 years old.
You're not gonna
Let
do
yourself
anything.
in, watch The Price is Right. It's like a whole afternoon of soap opera programming. It's
Gilligan's
excellent.
Island.
Yep. And one of the things that we did was watch SCTV for dinner, because we also ate dinner in front of the television. Like, just dinner on your lap. So cool.
Mama Celeste.
Yep.
Mama Celeste on your lap.
And SCTV and Carol Burnett came on back to back.
Wow, that's good programming.
That's Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian quality.
Dinner time. We don't watch the
Canadians
news.
know comedy. I do have to say that. Whenever I feel like they have a much higher caliber of comedy.
Well, we do have a taste for it.
Yeah.
I would say. And
because my lineup didn't land on SCTV. SCTV had to find in the middle of the night. My lineup landed on Father Knows Best. And,
okay.
Yeah, which was fine. But
I love Lucy too. Did you watch Kids in the Hall?
I did watch Kids in the Hall.
That was a big one.
Yeah,
me too.
that was. But that wasn't after school.
No, that was not after school
No,
programming.
after school was usually really crappy, like The Stranger Within. Just got the cheese. What just happened?
I don't know. But I just also remembered Love American Style. Was
so confusing. Everything about it was so confusing.
Just like torpedoes blasting.
And none of the jokes
fireworks.
make any sense. No. And it was really short. And I think you know why? I went back and I recently watched Policewoman with my gay husband in LA that I live with. I get to watch all of my camp. So that's when we watched Love American Style recently, and he owns all of Policewoman. And you realize watching it that it was entirely produced, written, acted, edited by high people. So it just, every single part about it, it's just a high through line. And it's lots of different people's high through line. So, there's none of it quite tracks.
No, it was journeys.
It's journeys. It's very satisfying. Anyway, how did we get on that one? What we were watching? We were talking
Comedy Idols.
Yeah, Comedy Idols, right. Okay, and then what about, I'm sure you've been asked this, and what about news idols? Were you ever?
Well, I did grow up watching, the 60 Minutes crew, they were my news idols. Like that was another thing, because we watched so much goddamn TV. Jesus, I'm really embarrassing myself. But we did, even as a little kid, just 60 Minutes came on Sundays, and you watched it, because it was comforting. Then there was Wonderful World of Disney, and then 60 Minutes.
Right. And then Mutual of Omaha.
And
Right.
And so news magazine style stuff was just a part of my life, and I loved and embraced it, because I would watch it with my grandmother, I guess.
Right.
And I was kind of a political kid. Like, I do this is weird, but my mom was really kind of, there's an activism to my mom. Like we definitely grew up and, boycotted, boycotted grapes. And there was like always a lot of hatred toward Ronald Reagan.
Took on the tough stuff.
Yeah, she took on the big issues. And so I took all of that on as well. And I would argue constantly with my grandmother about American foreign policy when I was like a little kid. I knew nothing about, I only knew the surface stuff that my mom told me that I should feel. And so I felt that very deeply. And then we would argue about almost nothing, because she knew nothing about it either. So it was just two lost souls arguing
But did
about
you,
the
as a
Reagans.
Canadian, were you very, were you,
We're steeped in, I mean, we just receive. It's just osmosis.
Yeah.
Just we receive.
because I can assure you that I, along with most of the people in this room, did not have opinions on Canadian foreign
Well,
policy.
yes, it doesn't go both ways.
It doesn't.
It only flows in one direction.
Yeah, which isn't fair.
Although Justin Trudeau is making a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
minor.
mean, well, he was in
Scratching
vogue.
the surface.
Yep, he's getting just a little bit.
Just a little bit, just enough.
Just enough.
Anytime you can get people,
Handsome. He's handsome enough to break through.
his Q numbers are slightly higher.
Yes.
Just because we can pay attention. So you did you have like a Diane Sawyer or a morning lady?
No, I think my Diane Sawyer was probably Diane Sawyer. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like.
That's pretty
I was
good.
more like a Mike Wallace, like into Mike Wallace and those guys, like Morley Safer. I mean, it just was. I knew who all those people were.
What it was.
At a super young age when they were all hotshots.
Do you think about trying to do you worry about being smart in what you're doing? Not just as a woman, but also because there's so like.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's just I think, well, I do remember when I first started working at The Daily Show, kind of coming into the room, it was like, I went to the University of Ottawa, like I grew up in, and I did comedy and I was a well-rounded person, but still you come into a room with like 13 comedy writers who all went to Harvard, and then you're talking about something that you've never heard of before because you don't know anything about American history because you didn't grow up here. So that was, it was hard to, but I always want to be a smart person. Like I, have that kind of ambition to always be like a smart person, and it bothers me if I don't know the thing.
Yeah.
So I would kind of like be the person who would go home and Google it after to try to learn the thing that I didn't know or to fill those deficits. But then working, because when I was there at The Daily Show at first, Rob Corddry worked there. And he was really funny and very confident, and he just didn't care at all. He was like, "Fuck you, you fucking Harvard assholes." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I don't always have to know. It's okay to not know."
It's really liberating.
It's really, really okay to not know. But that's a hard lesson for like a little goody two shoes, A student, Catholic schoolgirl.
But I feel like you're very good, frankly, at educating people. I mean, at explaining things in a way that is palatable and easy to digest and has an opinion. That's the other thing, is I feel like as a woman, at least I always felt sort of fearful about having to stand too strong in front of a political opinion, which obviously you have to do all the time.
Right. I mean, I think that that person grew inside me. I think that was a bit of an evolution. Now that I'm 46, I have so much.
We're entering the fuck it era.
I'm just in my fuck it stage. I'm kind of
So
like,
great. It's honestly
I don't know.
the greatest gift ever.
I was just talking about that with someone today. I was like, what a gift. Actually, I was talking to our showrunner, she's like 49 or something like that.
Yeah.
And we sat at my desk today and we were like, isn't it so great to be in our late 40s? Because we just don't give a fuck. Like, say what you want to say about us, have an opinion, write an article. It doesn't matter. Like, we're just doing what we're doing.
Yep.
And I hope you like it, but if you don't, that's okay too, because I won't know about it because I don't read anything. So it's fine.
And also, I'm tired.
I'm tired. I can't take on board
I know.
what
It's too much. After too many other things. For Christmas, I just asked for services. I just asked for like practical services, like a light bulb changing service.
Right.
And a service that would explain to my mom how to use the phone.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Just some of those basics, because I got a lot on my list.
Great.
And it is, but yeah, you're right. I mean, and it's funny because as I've gotten, and I really do appreciate it so much about what you do comedically, because I've gotten as I've gotten better and better and better at asking, just like if I don't know what a word means, what it means,
Yeah.
I had the same experience, obviously, because I started at SNL. There were probably fewer women at The Daily Show when you were there, but there weren't very many I think there were 5 of us in a culture of 55 or 60 men.
Sure.
And they were super Harvard-y.
Sure.
And, and I really didn't know a lot of the words they said.
Just explaining to you what the joke is.
Yeah.
Just like sitting down to just take you through it.
Yeah. We're just like, I'm sure we could write a book on all that. That feels really sweaty. Yeah, all the patronizing boy comedy words. It's like, yeah, it's kind of shoehorned.
Oh.
It's kind of shoehorned.
It's a bit derivative, so.
This was a little sweaty. Yeah, do you really want to be doing that kind of sketch?
That's nice.
Yeah, I do actually.
That's nice.
And I've gotten better about that. And one of the greatest comic moments of my life was walking down the street with Maya Rudolph, and I slipped on an actual banana peel. And we got so hysterical, and I suddenly was like, this is just the essence of it. I don't know why I've been trying to do anything smarter than this, because this is my favorite thing that's ever happened in my entire life.
Yeah.
I'm walking with a comedian, and I fell on and the banana peel looked like a cartoon banana peel.
Oh, it was just like perfectly.
It was just like splayed. Perfectly.
Bam! Yeah. There's a sound effect.
Exactly. That's all I've ever really wanted in life. So you've had. Are you going to vomit if we talk about your diversity?
No, I
that?
actually do. That's one thing I do love talking about. I love talking about diversity in our workplace.
It's so great.
I really do.
Did you read that New York Times? It was like a USC study on, and I know it's not really about comedy, but it all trickles down on such a profound cultural level about the number of. It was about diversity overall in the movies, but then it hit the idea of women. It said that there were 2.5 roles to every role of a woman, including roles that didn't have names. So like the parts that we would be like, she's like the bank lady.
Right. Nurse.
Nurse.
Number one.
Yeah, and I have a game that I play with my friend Tony in LA where we went to go see Mission Impossible, and he's a casting executive, so we're always laughing like where there's a part, well, he'll say, well, that's your role, that's your role. And it was so depressing because Mission Impossible started, and I think there was like a woman in the control room, like, prepared for takeoff, and that was like her one line. And then I had to wait and I was waiting to like pick the funny person and be like, that was me actually, that's what I was up for. We had to wait an hour and 10 minutes before there was even a woman's face on the screen.
Right.
And I know we both know it, and it gets really irritating, but I don't know how you unpack it. I don't know how you move it forward, except to just kind of keep creating and keep producing, and that's exactly what you're doing, I think.
Right. Well, you do have to do a little bit of extra work. Like, I mean, we had a blind. Oh, that is a.
Again, I apologize.
Sorry.
Long day. She's a long day of press for this.
We did. Like when we started working on the show, we really started working in earnest on the show in about July, August, starting to put we were just like this little teensy team, and then we were starting to put ideas into a bucket and starting to kind of move the show forward. And just diversity in the workplace was something that was key, and we talked about it from the moment we started.
Yeah.
From even when it was just a phone call to each other. You know what I mean? Just because. Particularly for the showrunner, Joe, who I don't think is here tonight, but it would be great if, anyway, she's busy putting a show together. I hope she's at work making funny comedy for Monday. She and I both feel like we came to this as outliers. Like, Joe doesn't come from the world of comedy. She doesn't come from a world of privilege, particularly. Like, she, is kind of like hardscrabble, put herself through school. She lived in the world of academia. Like, there was no real reason for her to be in comedy, except she did some improv when she was at school and made a few connections, and then did not pursue a career in comedy. Mm-hmm. Helped another person create his packet for The Daily Show. Right? And was like, I couldn't do this. She's one of the most brilliant comedic minds I've ever met in my life, but just didn't have the confidence to do it, and probably took her 5 or 6 years to think, to even consider creating a packet for herself to write at The Daily Show, which she eventually did, obviously got the job, was absolutely stellar. I mean, really, she's wonderful. And then I stole her away from The Daily Show because,
Yeah.
But, we both see ourselves as outliers because I did comedy for a long time, but came to it at a really late age. It wasn't like my life's ambition, you know, the way that it is for some people when they're like 17 and they're like, I'm gonna do comedy forever. That just was not my experience. Came to it in my 30s and didn't really, you know, and worked really hard at it. But it's important for us to make space for people who are like ourselves. So we want to meet other people who are like us, who wouldn't necessarily see ourselves there in a natural way, but have an aptitude and an actual ambition.
And a point of view as a result. That's not just to the, I mean, you know, that isn't just a recycled, this is how people write a good joke. You know, this isn't a conventional construction or whatever. Not that there's a place for that, obviously, and that's something that's very learnable, but it's nice to, in a changing and evolving world, that's what comedy is. It's reflecting, not to be too academic about it, but it's reflecting back at the culture what it is all the time.
And you know, like in the entertainment industry in particular, there are seminars and there are like think groups and work groups about creating diversity, when really the fucking thing you have to do is just like hire people.
Right.
It's like it's not really the most complicated transaction. You just have to find some diverse people and actually give them jobs. So, you know, one way to do that is, you know, just to do that. And if you can't find those people, you have to actually go looking for them. Like you have to call people and go, hey, who do you know? Hey, who do you think is great who doesn't see themselves in this world? Or does the person that you think is great who isn't quite ready, do they know someone who is ready? Or, you know, one thing we're doing is we're going to create a mentorship program at the show, which I think will serve all of us very well. And the plan is to harness all of the late night shows to contribute to it so that we can start, listen, we might only have 13 episodes. I don't have a clue. I don't really know. But like while we have a show, while we have this platform, I think
it's good to mentor people in things getting canceled too.
That's right. They can take over. They can host the show.
Just understanding, you know, so you win some, you know,
you know, because if there's like one little tiny thing that we can do to change the ratio in some way or bring
and you did blind submissions.
Blind submissions for sure, but more than just blind submissions. I've told this story before, but I do think it's important. It's important to me. Joe, you know, when you're looking for writers, you create a submission packet for them, and you tell them. It's basically just an outline of what you want to receive back as their application, and like the types of headlines that you're looking for, the length, whatever. And sometimes, like Joe's done a lot of submission packets, and sometimes they're just like, write 2 headlines and a thing, like write 2 headlines and a sketch, thanks so much. But what Joe did, because she didn't come from this world naturally, when she created the packet for people to read, she gave them she really outlined what the format was, that we needed to see the script.
So smart.
Just like the way that it looks is really particular to this comedy world. It's a script style, and if it doesn't look that way, if it doesn't just physically look a certain way, it tells you a person is inexperienced. Right. And maybe you don't look at the words the same way, maybe you just, you know, you can't help but surface it a little bit.
Yep.
So she really, really made a concerted effort to at least give people the chance to have their work seen in a very level way. You know, and so many people took that opportunity. We got so many packets from all different kinds of people, and people not from comedy, great packets, people who came close, people who did get hired.
But it's such a great way to even the playing field, because it is
such a basic.
It's such a clubby world. I mean, it's unbelievably clubby.
And it's such a basic. It's just such a basic leveler.
Yep.
To know how your script is supposed to look.
Yep.
It was really a gift, and that came out of her genius mind, and I'm so grateful because our staff is amazing. Like we really have lucked out.
And it will contribute to a really interesting show as a result. That speaks to everyone.
I hope so. I think so. We're having a great time.
And do you have you must have your comedy, do you know your demo?
I have no idea. We haven't aired an episode. I mean, we don't know any. We know that the 1 Million Moms are not our demo.
They took Sweaty Balls ice cream out of Walmart.
Oh, did they?
They did. Those motherfuckers.
They've already tried to get us canceled.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
What are they so pissed off?
But you know what?
First of all, I hope that at least 300,000 of the Million Moms had to explain what Sweaty Balls ice cream were to their children before they pulled them out of the Walmart stores.
First of all, I think it's not really 1 million people. I think it's about 3,000 dads. if I can be perfectly honest.
It's
they have
3,000 heavy-set bald dads.
3,000. Yeah, it's the 3,000 angry.
And with
people.
4 wide khaki-assed moms.
It's not really what they purport to be.
It's not kind,
sure.
but you know that's true.
They have tried to get us canceled, and then we're doing this weird cold open, which I don't really want to tell anybody, but it's
Okay, so
gonna
you don't have to tell me.
definitely,
It's gonna make them really mad.
oh my God, it's like we made it just for them.
Yay!
It's
so
as though we
excited.
made it just for them.
Well, I do have to say, because I've had a number of women say to me in the most refreshing way, you know, I'm so excited to see Sam's show, and I'm so excited, it's about time, and so on. I mean, and it doesn't mean anything pressure-wise. I think what's so great is you're so intelligent and you're so allied with The Daily Show and with sort of not some kind of obnoxious, you know, the agenda is not going to define it. I know that's going to be all over it, but I sent you the picture of you from Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, that was exciting. That was huge.
Big billboard. Just
It's
I was
huge.
just walking up to Starbucks, and there she was.
It was
So-
a big wrapped, it was like a whole building. I love this white blazer, but I can never wear it again in my entire life. It's
I
literally.
think it looks fantastic. And then I love watching your Sexist. I think that's a really smart way to label
Oh
it out.
yes, our second choice was Comedy with Wings. It was so close. It was so close. to
Season
being
2.
Comedy with Wings.
Season 2.
Season 2. You're right. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
You've got a lot of room.
It's.
got a long time.
I really treasure it.
Yeah.
I really treasure it. So close.
So incredibly close. So can we talk about? So you're a mom.
Yep. Your mom.
I'm a mom.
Moms.
I know.
Moms.
We're moms.
Isn't there a baby here?
Is there a
Rachel
baby here?
Has a baby. Is your baby here?
Did,
Oh.
One of my favorite things ever, which made me love Samantha so much, is that she, you know, the Daily Show people, I hope I'm not outing this totally personal story, but Jason, you know, we were talking about what rock stars you are at the conventions, right? So when you guys would go down there, literally like rock stars, but that you were nursing one of the children and that you had to pump like in between segments in a car
Oh yeah.
outside of the Republican convention.
That's right. Yeah.
I just had the greatest energy, like,
Oh yeah. Like
okay,
I
I'll be
had-
right there.
Yeah, no, I had definitely, I guess we had, I don't remember which baby it was, but it must have been anyway, whatever. There's a few babies. But I do have a really specific
which
memory.
pot roast was attached to your breast?
Yeah. I have a really specific memory of being in a van of young male PAs. Like, just a van full of like 22-year-old guys who are just trying to make it in comedy, and just this, like with a blanket over me, just going like, with a manual pump. It was so janky and awful. And then the milk, but you also can hear the milk
Expressing.
spilling into the bottle.
Yeah, that.
It was just like the most visceral, horrifying experience for all
You
of us.
you changed their life in the best possible way.
Dead silence.
My husband always said whenever we'd be around young comedy-ish people who were very obviously physically uncomfortable around me nursing, he would just say, look at the hairline. Just look at the hairline. Just talk to her hairline. You don't have to look south. They would just talk to my hairline the entire time. I was just I was thinking maybe one of the jokes could be just like not so nervous. But it's so good for them. I figure, what the hell?
Oh yeah.
Now they'll expect it.
Yep. That's get to know our body. Get to know the full body. There's a lot going on with it.
There's a lot going on
Be
with this,
afraid.
especially now we're in the fuck it years.
Yeah. There's so much good stuff.
We're entering full beach kimono.
I am 100% going to be like 78 years old
Yeah.
in a bikini on the beach in Ibiza. Like once my kids are in college, it's going to be me.
Are you gonna do the Ibiza no top thing?
Probably.
Yeah, 'cause you're gonna be 78.
I mean, like those are
Yeah.
my like real fucking years.
I know.
Like, I'm like by then.
You're gonna have
Guys.
your glaucoma sunglasses. No top.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not.
Gray pubes a flying.
Not that shy.
No,
Not
it's
shy.
too late. We've been too much. I've been down a long road. My show was called Full Frontal.
Frontal. Perhaps you've seen it. It's in its 30th season.
That's exactly right. But so do you think about I hate these questions because
No,
people ask
I
me them
love
too.
them.
But you,
Get it. Birth it.
get it out. The working mom. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
So again, these are news stories, and who gives a shit? Because everybody knows we love our work, and everybody knows we love our kids.
Yep.
And it's really not that big of a problem.
Right.
But everybody says, what's the priority? But you already kind of touched on this. Is this why you wanted to do it once a week? Did that factor into your thinking on it?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I like my life.
Yeah.
I like it just so.
Yep.
I like to, I don't want to disrupt my plan too much. It's important, when it was at I had all my kids at the Daily Show, and they were super generous with my time. And then my job got
And you shared your job with your husband.
Shared my job with my husband. Who's
Tag
here
team.
tonight. He's here somewhere in there in the darkness.
Very supportive. Now.
And it really afforded us, because our schedules were, quite frankly, quite easy. As easy,
challenging,
as easy as we
but,
wanted. Challenging sometimes more than others.
Yeah.
But there were long stretches of time where we weren't needed for things, and so it was like perfectly fine at 4:00 in the afternoon to go shopping for fun ingredients to make something cool that my kids would reject.
Right.
Like later on,
Zucchini bread.
Hey guys. Look.
I'm making squash muffins.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nope.
Totally.
Ew. Right away.
Is this squash? They know immediately.
Immediately.
So it's definitely a factor. My kids are I'm not going to not have my kids. I like to see them. It's important to me.
Yeah.
It's important to them.
Yep.
So one day a week of doing this, and by the way, we tape at 5:00. So actually, it was so funny. I was telling my friend Alana, who's also here tonight, I was like, after the show, we taped a test show last Monday, and I went home and I put on my dressing gown and I did laundry. Do you know what I mean? But the kid, I need that.
You can live a life.
I actually need it much more than my kids need it. I need to normalize.
Yep.
I need to always remember that it's just a fucking TV show. At the end of the day, it's it's
well, until about last year, you all lived in a one bedroom.
We lived in a one bedroom forever.
Unbelievable.
We did.
It stressed me out.
We lived in a one bedroom until we had our third child. We had 2 children in a one bedroom.
I know that.
Because we bought a condo at the height of
before you got yourself knocked up again.
Yeah. Yes, correct. I got knocked up in a one bedroom condo. Thank you. 2 times. And then by the time
only so much IKEA can fix with that situation.
Our kids were in drawers. We had a little drawer that was under the bed, and we would pull the drawer out, and then one of them slept in the bed with us. And then
you were too tired to go shopping for another place. To go shopping. This is a nice apartment. I like this one.
And then I got pregnant again, and we were like, we have to find a larger apartment. So we did then. But only then. Yeah, we lived in 600 square feet or something. Yeah. It was crazy.
It was like a weird documentary.
My husband loved it. He can attest to that. He really enjoyed the closeness.
You get to know each other better. I actually like it when we're whenever things get real cozy like that, but not for long periods of time. But if we're on vacation.
Yeah,
and we're all smashed in one, Hampton Inn room together.
We still kind of live that way.
Yeah, we do too. With one big immigrant bed.
I know. We all kind of
It really is. In fact, my 7-year-old, who he's so consistently comes in the middle of the night that we do have the IKEA bed with the roller, he calls it the down bed. It's the roll down, the one at the down. So I rolled the down bed into my room one night in the middle of the night, and I just shoved it there. And I said, listen, you can come in anytime you want.
Right.
You can. I don't care if you sleep here. You got to go on the down. Right. You got to go on the down. Right. Get on the down.
Right.
Yeah. So it was like his pallet, like a dog pallet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Which is fine.
It's totally fine.
And I kind of like it. And then sometimes he doesn't come in, and I'm really sad.
Anytime one of us is away, all the children want to sleep in. They all.
Oh yeah.
It's the only thing that cheers them up is that they can sleep in our bed with us.
Right.
So there's 3 children and an adult in a bed, and it's a terrible sleep.
I know. It's a bad sleep.
Everyone gets a bad sleep.
We had an aggressive goldfish for a long time. In my room too. It was like everybody has too much personality in this household. I've got to get some sleep because he would splash around and he would burrow in the gravel really aggressive.
Oh my God! What?
No, and then we gave him an aerial and he date raped her and pushed her to the corner. It was so disgusting. So I was like, anyway, everybody was just sort of pushy and loud in my room.
Yes.
Something about my room happens that way. So anyway, he passed a couple days ago. So
when can I tell you?
Gordon passed.
We had a goldfish that lived for 2.5 years, and I was like, is there a goldfish hitman? I'm not going to do it myself.
I know,
but
believe
please.
me. No, believe me.
Please.
Same. For 3.5 years, we've had.
Oh God!
He came home from a county fair birthday party. Some motherfucker gave away fish. Like everybody knows you're not supposed to do that. And so my daughter brought, she was like, look, oh my God. And he lived. His friend died. There were two of them. His friend died. My mom said, bury it in the geranium. And she, so she buried him, he was small at that time, in the geranium. And then I have to tell you, the geranium is huge.
Oh, well,
so
there you go.
It's the circle of life,
Yeah,
which is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
But then Gordon lived forever and ever and ever.
So
And
did
then
Shadow.
it was over Christmas, I think because the heat jacked up to the crazy, freakish global warming temperatures, and then dropped back down, and something happened, and he got ick, and he passed.
Oh, well, ours just passed also. And I have to tell you, like, you know, there's sometimes, I mean, this just occurs to you sometimes, and we were like, I have my own TV show, but you're like scrubbing you're scrubbing like algae out of the tank, and I'm like, guys, he's your pet, and they're like, we haven't looked at that fish in over a year and a half.
Not care less.
Could not care less. I'm like, I know you can't live like this, Shadow. I'm willing, I want you, I don't.
His name was Shadow?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna kill you, Shadow. I'm not. I'm gonna let you live. We took him to Maine. I was like, we took him on vacation with us. Oh my God. And it was all me, all my doing.
My friend, we had a cat. We had an awesome cat who I believe you've met over the years, who did die a couple years ago, which is partially why I became. And this is no longer about women in comedy, but I remember Charlie was like, I am not taking that cat to the beach. I don't care what. We were going on vacation, and so my babysitter and I went, and we got him feline generic Ativan, which I actually have been taking for about a year to fly, because it's just enough to kind of get you, relax you on the plane. Anyway, so the lady was like, listen, just give him, you know, the vet lady. She said, just give him, you know, one of these, and he'll totally chill out and he'll fall asleep because he was terrible at traveling. And it was really at rock bottom for us as a family. We had my father-in-law's old Jeep, 1994 Jeep, which arrived, and we thought it was fine, but then it became summer, and we realized that the air conditioning didn't work, and then the radio gave out the same day. So we had no radio and no air conditioning, so we drive on the BQE with the windows down, with the cat in the way back. In the 94 Jeep Wrangler, and to the point that when we finally got our new car, everybody was like, God, it's such a quiet ride. It's like, no, the windows are up. We've never been in a car as a family with the windows up. Anyway, so as soon as we got on the BQE, of course, like that low, kind of miserable meow that they do, and then just literally hit east to New York, which is the worst zip code in America, and the kids were like, I smell something, you know, because the cat had shat the box right in these. So we had to go to a Popeye's driveway. Charlie's. I can't believe my marriage made it through this. He just looked at me. He was like, we have a problem. We have a problem. So mad. So mad. Anyway, that was the last time the cat went to the beach, and now I just take the generic feline Ativan for travel.
Perfect.
So it's a win-win.
Win-win. We did it. We did it.
Now, you are also producing a show about your family, speaking of cat shit in the backseat.
That's true, yes. My husband and I are producing, he's starring in it, he wrote it and directed an episode, and
it's a B. Jones joint.
It's a B. Jones joint. It's a scripted show called The Detour, which premieres also on TBS. We're like deep in TBS here.
Me too, same. I'm on a TBS show.
That's right.
No.
We're in the family together.
We're part of the TBS family.
We're part of the TBS family.
That's why
we'll
we're
talk
doing
about that. It's a show about a family. It's really a show about a family on vacation.
Is it about your family?
It is not really about. If it was my family, I would be scared for myself.
But you guys do travel a lot. You're always like, we went to a dude ranch.
Yeah, we do. I mean,
you take fun trips.
We used to. I mean, now we just. If you can't drive there, we usually don't go. But. It's really a very TVMA comedy with a family at the center.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's really great.
And did you write it with Jason?
I wrote the pilot episode and another episode, and then Jason wrote a lot of the episodes.
That's amazing.
Most of them, and
so you guys are starting the
show ran it, and it's like a whole empire now.
That's fantastic.
What's your show? Your show's called People
My
of
show
Earth.
hasn't been made yet, so don't worry about it.
No,
we'll
I know, but it's coming.
There's a pilot that was done that was picked up a series called People of Earth, and it's about alien abduction survivors.
Yep. That's right.
I play a thinly credentialed therapist who runs a support group.
I love it. I love it.
But I've only done the pilot. But it's in Toronto, so I need to talk to you about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, questions. Oh, these are questions.
We have questions from the people.
When I look out, it's so dark.
I know. And
see all of your faces.
yeah, it is very dark.
Okay.
Okay, so what experiences on The Daily Show, Samantha, have best prepared you for your new role as a late night host?
Oh, interesting. Good question. I think that I'm not that prepared to be a late night host, but I'll do it anyway. But I do think that watching John was such a hard worker, and I think that the one thing that I took away from that is that you have to be a hard worker. But really, he was like kind of the first person to arrive and the last person to leave. And I'm not saying I'm gonna do that. Let's not get crazy. But when I'm there,
But I have hired people who stay super late.
when I'm there, I'm very focused on getting the work done. That's
Yes.
actually one thing that's good about having 3 kids at home. Like when you're at work, you are at work.
Yes.
And get it done.
Yes.
And then you leave.
Yeah, because you don't want to be distracted. Nobody wants to be that person.
I am on the phone! Mommy's taking a conference call, children! Although I'm not saying that hasn't.
Oh no, it happens every day, but you still don't want to be that person.
I don't like myself at all. I don't care for myself.
Okay, can you project who will be the next U.S. president? That's a great question.
No. No.
Do you-
I wish that I could. Oh, I wish that I was a sorceress and that I
What
could.
fun you're gonna have this year.
It's going to be really fun and also enraging and
Yes.
funny and all of those things. It's gonna be it's already a little bit of this. It's a good time to launch a show that's topical.
Yes, it is.
Thanks be to Jesus for
I know,
that.
and there's lots. It's not just like one funny. There's about 9 funnies out there.
I know, the funnies are dropping out. I wish they would
I
stay
know,
a
poor
little
things. They were
longer.
so fun to make fun of.
Come on.
Please don't leave.
Please
How we
don't
love to
go.
mock you. It's so true. Okay. Now this says there's even an asterisk. Tell the truth, please.
Oh, gee.
And here's the asterisk.
Okay.
Sincere, not snarky.
Okay. Well, I can do that. Yes.
Was there a sexist moment on The Daily Show? And how did you deal?
Okay.
Not snarky.
Interesting. There were moments when I worked at The Daily Show where I did not like what I was doing 100%. There were times that it was like, as with any job, it had its frustrations, most certainly. Lots of frustrations. Like there were times when you would go to work and you knew that things weren't working, or you wanted to do something and you weren't the one who got to do it, or like there were multiple kind of frustrations there, as with any job at all, and any job in entertainment. It's not a perfect place, but I never felt there that it was gendered. Like there were lots of terrible moments where I cried, or I felt like passed over, or I felt like shitty about what I had done, or I didn't think the thing was funny enough, and I wasn't happy with the job that I did. But there was never a moment when I wasn't taken serious. Really, there was never a moment where I walked into a room and I was like, this happened because I was a girl. Like, never. It really was just a place where the best joke kind of won the day. So it just wasn't. I didn't have that experience. And when my friend Elena is in the audience tonight, we did comedy together for 10 years as in an all-female sketch troupe called The Atomic Fireballs. It's like one of the greatest chapters of my life, with eternal friendships. Elena's working on my show now as a producer, and I love her like to the depths of my soul. And like we made comedy ourselves. We were like, nobody paid us to do comedy. We fucking like got the money together and rented a space and did comedy put on shows and charged money, and people came or they didn't come. It was such a DIY comedy experience.
Yeah.
Nobody ever told us what to do. We set up our own shows because that's what we like to do. And we like to go balls out, and we did. And I took that with me to The Daily Show. So I just haven't had that experience in comedy. I've been very lucky to just not have that experience.
I actually would piggyback on this.
Okay.
As they say.
I wish you would. That'd be
tailgate
great.
on your topic.
Yeah.
A little bit to say that I actually think what you just said about particularly women in comedy, yes, there are traditions of sexism, but in entertainment throughout. But the thing that is significant is that in the field of comedy, you have the ability to write for yourself. In fact, you have the obligation to write for yourself. And certainly any woman in my era on Saturday Night Live was writing her ass off. And you were talking, very much that scrappy, work ethic-y, you don't like it, then fix it, write your own stuff. I mean, everyone who's succeeding sort of sitting around and waiting to get cast is going to be a sexist enterprise and a drag, as I referenced that, the outnumbering, but if you want to get it done, you got to do it. And so you can kind of sidestep the whole
You can sidestep it. I mean, there's
topic. I mean, of course, there's going to be moments.
It's just like it's just the entertainment industry, so it's just shitty to women in general. Like you'll end up going to if you're trying to get cast in something, that's where your life takes on a different quality, and you start reading breakdowns for yourself, and it's like histrionic woman, like crazy bitch ex-wife,
dowdy, frumpy neighbor, possibly a lesbian.
But if you actually, oh my gosh, I have I kept there was a time when I got so many breakdowns for like just terrible side characters that I just kept a running document of like busted ass cheerleader. You know what I mean? Because it made me laugh.
Last year it was, and again, this is it's a side effect of the fuck it years, but I got my very first pilot season breakdown that came and said it was for somebody, a really young, pretty lead, and she opens the door, her full-figured blousy sister-in-law shows up with spittle dripping down her blouse. It was my first thing.
Oh, great. So, but if you do,
that's not
but
really
if you,
sexism as much. It's just sort of sad.
It's just, oh dear. But if you can sidestep, you can have a different experience. You can
create your own comedy.
You can create your own thing. Someone ultimately has to hire you and give you a platform. I mean, absolutely, definitely. And I got really super lucky that it was at the Daily Show, which was, imperfect, but not imperfect in that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's a great answer.
That was not snarky. I didn't intend for it.
That didn't seem snarky. Was that snarky?
I didn't feel it.
No.
Okay.
I thought you handled the asterisk really well.
Oh, good. Thank you.
This is a question for both of us, which I think we're both going to like.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite New York City restaurant?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you? I like so many of them.
I know. We love restaurants.
A good lunch. I love
we
to go
love
for
a
lunch.
luncheon.
I love.
Well, it's so old-fashioned, and now it's moving, which is very sad. Is Union Square Cafe. One of my favorite things in the whole world is to sit at that bar and eat at that bar because you can never get a table. But but they're moving, which is really sad. But there's something old and New Yorky and great about that. I love the Oyster Bar in Grand Central. Sometimes that has a nice vibe.
We live on the Upper West Side, and basically we never leave a 10-block radius.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common.
So all of our favorite restaurants are within 10 blocks of where we like to go. We almost went to the Mermaid Inn tonight. I like that.
I love the Mermaid Inn.
I love the Mermaid Inn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you feel like you're in your neighborhood. And here you go. It's.
I go to the downtown ones. The SNL ladies like them. Who knew that?
They're
Insider
good.
tip. We go there a lot because we have a little glass of Chard and dish.
Oh, that's very nice.
It's a lot of fun.
But I like to mix it up a bit. My children's favorite is Sugar and Plum. They would eat their breakfast, lunch, and dinner if they could. They always want to go there, and I never want to go there. But.
Well, my son's favorite restaurant is called Clark's. It's a diner on Clark.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So that's good.
That's a good one.
It's really good. They have grilled cheeses. And anyways, I'm sure we'll think of other ones after and feel bad.
Yeah, I'll feel bad because I definitely have
There's
favorites.
so many good
and I can't
restaurants.
think of
I know.
them.
We're thinking of a lot of really ordinary ones. Where did we go? There was that one that we went.
But in some ways, the ordinary ones are the best ones because they're the ones you've
been around forever.
They've been around forever. You go to them, you feel comfortable.
Joe Allen, that kind of thing. Sure.
Yep.
Okay. So, this is Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Great. Oh boy.
That's a fun game. Well, my husband asked me this one for you, but he said this is sort of better. He said this one is David Letterman, Donald Trump, and Stephen Colbert. I mean, it feels pretty straight ahead.
Oh my God.
Fuck, marry, kill. Oh. Shall we pass? You want to pass?
Oh my God. My husband is in the audience. Can you?
Oh, how about?
So can it?
It's a would you rather. Jason,
Would
do you
you
mind
rather?
if she answers this?
Do you
or
mind
should
if
we
I
pass?
answer this? I definitely am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pass. I appreciate it.
I understand.
You know what I felt? For a second, I thought he'd stormed out, and so I'm glad he spoke.
No, that's good.
Okay, so let's do that.
I can privately answer that question.
We can talk. We don't even have to, because who needs that in a marriage? That's, it's like the bridges of Madison County. That's why it closed.
Can you imagine if I'm like, oh my God, my fantasy question. I've always wanted to answer this question. Now's my chance. My fantasies.
Okay, this is this is sort of what we already asked. I'm sorry, it's the same question. It's about the Daily Show influencing you.
Oh, okay.
Well, it says, how much would you say your time of the day? I think we know the answer.
Yeah, a lot.
Exactly.
A lot.
Okay, and it's not to say it was a bad question. We just sort of asked
just
it.
yeah.
Okay, and what is your favorite TV show on the air right now?
Oh, I do have a favorite right now. I just devoured it. Black Mirror. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Just started it.
What?
That's the one with the alternative. Am I thinking about the right thing? It's English, right?
Yeah.
And it has the
Each
weird,
episode is
trippy,
completely different.
like Twilight
Yes.
Zone-y.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Oh
fantastic.
my God! Did you see the first?
I saw the one with the blow-up doll.
Did you see the first one? Was it the first one?
This one with the time
Prime
could go back. That one.
No, the Prime Minister one. Prime Minister of England one. Have you seen it?
We gotta watch it.
What? It's like I hardly ever watch TV, really.
I watch TV all the time, and I love it. And my
love
favorite
TV.
thing in the whole world is when people, I know when people say to you, like, oh, I don't have a TV.
Oh no!
And you know what Charlie does now? He goes, we do. We love it.
TV's great.
It's so good. You
so
should watch
good.
TV. It's so relaxing.
Yeah.
It's really, and then he'll go, TV pays the bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he works in advertising.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so we're on both sides of the devil's
Totally.
playground on that one.
I just can't I get so excited when there's something that I can just totally devour because I
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
like
it's
if I want to watch it, I want it there. I need it really immediate. And
Yeah,
I
we've
need to be able
all
to watch
become
all of
bingers.
it. I need to watch all of it all at once. But
understand.
Black Mirror when I watched the first episode, I went, oh, it's perfect. It's just like a perfect episode of television. Like if I was gonna make a show about this story, which I never would because it's very imaginative, I would never have thought of it. But good for them. It was it's a perfect gift that was given to me that I watched like in my bed like a crazy person.
Do you snap
on a
while you
laptop, or just like this. With like headphones on, like with Beats headphones on, because Jason was sleeping beside me. I was like, oh my God, oh, I wish he was watching this. That's how we watch TV. We sat in bed the other night and watched on 2 iPads like this. Separate episodes of Black Mirror. Like just
You didn't watch it together?
no. We were like, could you do that? Is that physically possible? How would you even?
Oh, we do it all the time, but then we have fights because if I look at Twitter or whatever. But we and
I
do
watched
have
you and Grace Live. You were
one person
amazing.
did. One other
I
person
loved
did.
it. I'm sorry.
That lady did.
I loved it.
That lady got a kick out of it.
I was watching you like this.
Do you know the new? Do
I was.
you know the new hand jive?
Oh no, that I could not. Oh. Okay.
I'll teach it to you if you want to
Okay.
teach.
Yep.
Brush, brush, clap, side, side. Break an egg, shake it off, hitchhike, clap, clap.
Nice. Okay.
That's how I learned it.
All right. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I didn't really have to do it, but I did it anyway.
Yeah. Of course.
Because we had to sing it, and I felt stupid not doing it.
You have to do it.
Do you watch comedies at all?
No. Never.
I almost never do too.
I don't really. I mean, I guess I could.
I watch them much later in syndication and like a total jackass. I'm like, Frasier is really funny.
Oh yeah.
Like where people are like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, it won a lot of. I can always drop into an episode of The Golden Girls if I have to. But
Oh,
like,
well,
you know what I mean?
That's the best. It's literally the best comedy ever
best
written.
comedy that was ever written.
Again, my Tony. That's what we do every day.
Yeah.
It is a masterclass. It is so perfect. It is a perfect piece of writing. And I wonder if that show could get made now and be as popular. I wonder that all the time.
No. No, I don't think so.
Good to know.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, good.
I think no.
So I'm
My
just
answer
gonna get
is
my
no.
kimono ready.
Get it.
Heading to the
Yeah,
beach.
Yep. Heading to I'll meet you on the lanai.
See you in Ibiza.
Yep.
That's fantastic. And then, but you mostly watch dramas.
Mostly, or shows that people say are comedies, but are they? I mean, like Orange is the New Black, which are like,
Yeah.
it's a comedy.
It's not-
I watch that.
It's a comedy.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Is it? Can me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
watched it on the
There's
plane.
An aspect to it.
I don't think it's a
I
comedy.
just binged Game of Thrones, like stuff like. I like it when there's murder or
Oh, you told us
there's,
about
like,
Game of Thrones to begin with.
or if there's like Nazis, I like
I
that,
love
or
Nazis
like a
too.
nice
I have a weird Nazi.
documentary.
I just read a bunch of Nazi books in a row.
Did you see Cartel Land?
No.
Cartel Land is a good
It's a lot of fun.
It was really fun. Oh, the cartels.
Oh, that's.
I really amuse myself in dark ways.
Yeah, me too. Happy Valley is a real
anyway.
Drago.
That's a good one.
Oh, good one. It's a great one for binging.
Yep.
Again, what I was going to ask you one more thing about TV. Oh, do you watch anything like really trashy like Dateline or?
That I watch
these-
cooking shows.
Yeah.
Does that count? I watch Cupcake
No.
Wheel. I watch a lot of like
Cupcake Wars,
Cake
yeah.
Wars.
Those,
My
I
kids
think of
love
that as
those.
kid TV.
Those like processed
Halloween
cooking
Wars.
shows. We like those.
The sugar shows.
Sugar shows. The sugar shows, Donut Wars.
Yeah, Donut Wars. And do you watch anything secretly that Jason doesn't know about? Close yours.
No, I actually don't. I try to force him to watch television. He watches much less than I do.
Wow.
It's weird. I don't understand him. I love him.
And do you let your children watch TV?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They watch more movies. They're more into movies than TV shows. They like Adventure Time a lot.
Well, it's funny.
Yeah.
And weird.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay, I think we've covered television. This asks if you have a celebrity that you'd like to collaborate with. And
Ana Gasteyer. I really would love to have you on the show doing something. I don't know like what that thing will be, but
such
I'll
a
make
minor
something
woo.
for
I mean,
you.
it really wasn't
No,
even
no,
an
no, no, no.
established woo. It was like someone turned on the sound effect and turned it off really fast.
Yeah. I mean, interesting. I don't really know any You know more celebrities than I do. I don't really know any.
You know lots of celebrities.
Do I? Not really.
Power New York couple.
We're such a lame couple. Like we're so lame. We don't go out. We're just a regular couple. We don't know anyone fun. At TBS, they're like, why don't we harness the power of your celebrity friends and we can do all of these events? I'm like,
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you could call Jon Stewart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
It's a
one.
homebody. It's great
one.
because we're two total homebodies.
Perfect.
So we could just like
People
talk
know.
on the phone and not.
Well, doing Grease Live, I didn't know who anyone was because, I mean, a little bit, but every day my 13-year-old would be like, you did not tell me that David Del Rio was on it. He was on, whatever, Pitch Perfect 19 and Teen Beach Movie 4. And I had no idea what any of them were. Right. So I just got a lot of little selfies for her from those people.
Good. That's nice.
Yeah, it was good for her.
Good for her.
Or the songs, anyway. I learned who they were. That made me feel very relevant. The collective Twitter following of the Grease Live cast was 150 million people.
What?
Can you believe these young kids?
God.
And also, now I'm going to really sound old because I know it's all day, every day. All day.
Right.
Hold on, it's my Snapchat story. Hold on, I'm doing my Snapchat story.
Right.
All day long. I made no eye contact. I had no conversation with anyone because hold on, talk to my Snapchat story.
Wow.
Yeah, and I definitely had the sensation again because I'm reaching my fuck it years that there were a lot of times that they were laughing at me, not with me.
Oh no! I know.
It was very sad.
You. Oh.
Okay, so no interviews on your show.
No, I mean unless unless there's something that's kind of germane to the story, or
Right.
We're not really doing interviews because there's no real. Unless it's very purpose driven, I don't really want to. I just feel uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about people's movies. Really, I don't know any.
You don't watch TV. You don't go out.
Well, I don't want to go
So it'd
out,
be
and I
harder
watch
for you.
TV that everyone watched 3 years ago.
Right.
I'm 3 years behind everything,
Sure.
so I'm totally comfortable not dealing with that unless I'm forced to in some way.
That's totally
So
fine.
far, so good.
But you get to talk about politics, which are happening right here and now.
Yes, right here and now.
And it's Monday nights at 10:30.
Monday nights at 10:30. Starting this Monday.
It's amazing.
I think we'll be simulcast across a whole bunch of Turner networks too, like TNT and TBS and Adult Swim, stuff like that.
Adult Swim?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cartoon Network? Yep.
Really?
Something like that. I can't remember.
Cartoon Network?
No, it's not that. I can't remember, but it's good.
But you guys will all be watching. Everyone.
Please do. I'll come into every one of your homes if I have to and turn your TV on for you.
I think it's going to be a huge hit. I'm really excited for you. And
Thank
I
you.
truly, truly mean this, that I think it's super smart in a way that is very fulfilling as a viewer to watch and to learn about and to dine out on.
Thank you.
And you'll,
Come dine at my house.
and you'll edutain. You'll edutain America, and that's what's really important here.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I think
Thank
we're
you
there.
so much,
Thank
everyone,
you
for
coming
coming.
out.
Appreciate you coming.
Now do we get up and just
So
leave?
nice. Hello. I see a camera.
We just get up?